All right. Give people a few minutes to stream in here. Get this horse. Hey, American Nana. Boy, we have a lot to talk about today. Fani got caught with her hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. So there's this girl on TikTok. She goes by damn. Now I can't remember her handle on TikTok. But anyhow, she's a lawyer in Atlanta. And she goes by something dog. I'll get it for you in a minute. But she has proof that Fani Willis paid Nathan Wade out of Thug's civil forfeiture fund, which is totally illegal. And she also has proof that Nathan Wade has the watch. Hey, Zach. So this is very interesting. So she has this girl on TikTok. And what is her handle? Let me see if I can look it up real quick. She goes by Bomber Dog on TikTok. And let me play you some of what she says.
Just heard from the amazing Doug Weinstein that there were 2 Richard Mille watches with pink bands. One that they acknowledge confiscating, and one that they say they intentionally or for whatever reason left behind. But I asked Doug, and Doug has no explanation either for why they would confiscate so much of Doug's property, but somehow intentionally leave one of the watches behind, but not the other. And as Doug pointed out on his cross-examination, they would leave a $500,000 watch behind, but take a ring off of someone's finger. It doesn't make any sense at all. So the plot thickens even more. I just heard from the amazing Doug Weinstein that there were...
There's more. Let me see if I can find the other one. She talks about that there are civil forfeiture there's like a checkbook for each person's civil forfeiture, and that each time they withdraw from that, they have to make a checkbook entry, and that there are, what did she say, like 50 something $1,000 in entries, and that glad you're okay, Zach. Let me see if I can do it this way. No, that's not her. Let's see who else is following. Anyhow, according to the actual checkbook, wow, Zach, I'm glad you're okay. According to the checkbook, there's 3 withdrawals noted for like $30,000 to $50,000 each. And when Newsweek called in March of last year or March of this year to find out about it, they said, oh, that's just a clerical error. And she did a follow-up in September, and the 3 supposed clerical errors are still there. So that means they did withdraw the money. And Bomber Dog also has proof that Nathan Wade has the watch. The watch is worth $500,000. Or at least it was $500,000 when Thug bought it 2 years ago. 3 years ago, rather. But according to Miss Mandy Reacts, that today's value on the watch is $1.7 million. And if you watched in court the other day, when they brought in his jewelry, it was not, yeah, it's more than, well, a lot more than everything I own. When they brought in his jewelry, they brought in, now this is millions and millions of dollars worth of jewelry. They brought in 1 evidence bag, and they started going through the evidence bag. Nothing was itemized. They just took all the jewelry and threw it in 1 evidence bag. They didn't mark each individual item. And according to, see, I started thinking about this the other day when Viverito was on the stand. I call her Burrito because closed captioning, when can't pronounce her name, and calls her, yeah. I'm going to get into that in a minute here. Why Fani Willis should be afraid of Pam Bondy. But they had all of his jewelry, his millions of dollars worth of jewelry, just thrown in 1 evidence bag and rolled shut and taped. They're supposed to count each individual item. Each individual item is supposed to get a number. They did not do that. But this is Fulton County, you know. So let's get into the other news. Matt Gaetz withdrew his name, and within a half hour, Trump had nominated Pam Bondy. Pam Bondy hates corruption. Pam Bondy hates Fani Willis. Point blank. Because when she indicted Trump, it was Pam Bondy that said, this is an illegal prosecution. So do I think that Fani Willis should be afraid of Pam Bondy? Hell yes. Do I think that she is going to be afraid of her? No, because she doesn't have that kind of sense. But here's the sideline between, I kind of got the feeling that something was up when Matt Gaetz got nominated, because, hey, Laugh, everybody, Laugh is my friend, and she's my channel moderator now. See, the issue is when Matt Gaetz was nominated, he was not required to resign from Congress. He decided to resign from Congress, and I kind of had a feeling that something else was up, because when he resigned, he put in his letter, I will not be taking the oath of Congress, meaning for the next Congress. So here's what the rumors are, and they make sense. When Matt Gaetz was offered Attorney General, him and Trump were on Trump Force One. And Matt Gaetz at that time said, apparently, yeah, Laugh won't do that. That Pam Bondy would be a better pick. So I think that the plan was to nominate Gaetz for Attorney General and see who the enemies were and get the enemies to come out and state their objections, and then put up Pam Bondy. And the whole plan was to put Matt Gaetz somewhere else. Thank you, Laugh. Hey, Laugh, I sent you a direct message on X with my cell number in case you need to, so that we can talk about topics, future topics and stuff. And so I think that Trump planned this all along. I think that Trump planned this all along. I think Pam Bondy was the original pick, and that he put Matt Gaetz out there to see who the enemies were. And now, here's the interesting thing. Okay, Laura Trump is up for that Senate seat. Then DeSantis said he wanted someone with a proven track record of supporting America first. That means that if they put Matt Gaetz in the Senate, he was reelected, but he has declined to accept it. This is all breaking news today, Zach. Matt Gaetz was on Charlie Kirk's show an hour ago and said he will not take the oath of Congress for the 119th Congress, that he has eyes on another position that doesn't require a Senate nomination. And so that got me to thinking, okay, so there's that Senate seat. There's 3 people up for that Senate seat: Laura Trump, Ashley Moody, And now it could be Matt Gaetz. Okay. And Laura Trump has a proven track record. Ashley Moody is the current AG. Yeah, he could be an assistant DA. You know, he could actually be a deputy DA at the DOJ. Yeah, Laura Trump said no today. But up until today, she has been saying that if she's asked, she would be honored. But then today she said no. That tells me that Matt Gaetz could be going to the Senate because there are so many things going on. Yeah, they have a good plan in place. Yep. Because what made me think about that Gaetz could be the Senate pick, okay, Senate does not require a nomination. All it requires is for DeSantis to say, I appoint you senator, and he's the senator. And that would be like putting a bomb in the Senate, a MAGA bomb, right? Because that is just wild. It's also wild, laugh. I talked about this right before you came on, that Bomber Dog on TikTok has proof that Nathan Wade was paid by Fani Willis out of Thug's civil forfeiture. And Bomber Dog says she has the proof that Nathan Wade has the Millier watch. How wild is that? And I also told them that Pam Bondy hates corruption and she absolutely hates Fani Willis for what she did to Trump because she is the one that said that Trump and his lawyers being arrested on RICO was illegal because that's attorney-client privilege, and they don't have the authority to have attorney-client privilege. Yeah, Fannie plays dirty, but there's a Mrs. Clean is coming to town, you know? Mrs. Clean is coming to town. You know, that's one thing I got to say for Pam Bondi. She hates the illegal immigration. There are speeches that you can go back and look at that she gave when Biden was sending, not Biden. This is when she was Attorney General. So it's been a couple of years ago. It was before Trump was in office. And when they were shipping illegals from, I think it was Arizona or Mexico, somewhere along the border there, right to Florida, there's a press conference with her and Grady Judd. Maybe I can find it and play it for you guys. It is just wild. She was so pissed off.
spoke to his son
Yeah.
about overseas dealings. His son said different
This
things.
is
Joe
a different.
Biden was the point man for Ukraine, investigating. At the time, Ukrainians were a corrupt company, Burisma, and Zolchevsky, its owner, an oligarch who, by all media accounts we've discussed, was extremely corrupt. Hunter Biden is
This is
paying
about Hunter Biden.
$1,000 a month to sit on that board with no experience in energy, no experience in the Ukraine, doesn't speak the language, and we clearly know that he had a very fancy job description. And he did none of those things. He attended 1 or 2 board meetings, one in Monaco, and then he went on a fishing trip with Joe Biden's family in Norway. The entire time, Joe Biden knows that this oligarch is corrupt. Everyone knows that. There are news reports everywhere. No one will dispute that. In fact, it raised eyebrows worldwide. But the vice president, by his account, never once asked his son to leave the board. We wouldn't be sitting here if he did. He never asked his son to leave the board. Instead, he started investigating the prosecutor who was going after Burisma and this corrupt oligarch who they say was corrupt even by oligarch standards, who had fled the country, living in Monaco. He does not ask him to leave the board. He does the opposite. In 2015, what does he do? We know by reports he has close contact with President Poroshenko. He travels to Ukraine twice. He links it to the fire. He links the aid to the firing. Same thing in 2016 at a White House meeting.
Oops. I want the other one. Here's one. This is her at a Trump rally. And Mark Cuban's comments.
To Donald Trump, Office of White House Counsel, but most importantly, I'm his friend. And I was in that White House, and we all know he surrounded himself with a lot of brilliant women. How many women here tonight support Donald Trump? And backstage, look at these beautiful women sitting behind me. Sorry, guys. Donald Trump. That was the greatest gift Mark Cuban could give Donald Trump, I think, by saying something so ignorant and stupid. So I have a message from Mark Cuban, from all of us here tonight. Underestimate us. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, isn't that great? Underestimate her, and it's going to be fun. But she said us. And then this guy says, I love this. Dear Dems and Rhinos, this is what you happen when you FAFO. You wanted Matt Gaetz gone. You fell for the setup. Now you're even more panicked because Pam Bondy will be confirmed. And with all that experience she has, including being the former AG of Florida, I'd be worried too.
Funny. The Democrats are funny.
There's one more that I want to play. Where is it at? Oh, this is about the Venezuelan street gangs.
Host on Fox 3 times while she was still the sitting Attorney General of Florida. And she spent plenty of time on the network since she left office.
Murderers, rapists from Venezuelan prisoners coming straight into our country. They are coming to a town near you. It should scare and terrify everyone in this country. This is just one big press conference trying to smear Donald Trump, trying to hurt Donald Trump. We do have evidence of cheating, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but we are still on the ground in Pennsylvania. I'm here right now, and we are not going anywhere until they declare that we won Pennsylvania.
That was from the last. There. This is her experience on trafficking. Pam Bondy ran as Florida AG with the big emphasis on stopping human trafficking of children and women. Over the years, she and her office have worked closely with Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd over the years, whom has a record for human trafficking busts. March of 2024, Operation March Madness, illegal alien human trafficking network involving U.S. government. September 2023, Florida teacher, Disney employees among 219 arrested in human trafficking operation. June of 2023, and so on. That's Grady Judd. But I want to get, there's a, oops, what happened? What did it do? Stupid thing. Ugh, I hate when my phone messes up. But anyhow, you see how she hates corruption and how she will go after human traffickers, the cartels. She'll clean up the DOJ. There was reports already today that massive people at the DOJ are, oh no, I hope nobody gets hurt. There's massive exiting from the DOJ because they're terrified of working for Pam Bondy, which is a good thing on our side because that means we can replace them with competent people. I was laughing last night. The MSNBC was freaking out over Pam Bondy, saying, "Oh, we thought Matt Gaetz was bad. We wanted rid of Matt Gaetz, and now we got rid of Matt Gaetz, and now we have Pam Bondy. Oh shit!" And the host said to the guy, "Well, why do you say that?" He said, "Because Pam Bondy is talented. Pam Bondy is competent. Pam Bondy knows what she's doing. Pam Bondy knows how to run an AG's office." He said, "And because she knows what she's doing, we're terrified." And I had to chuckle because they're terrified because somebody knows what they're doing. It's just wild. I'm working on something for Diddy. Maybe we can do it tomorrow. A lot came down today. Yeah, they didn't freak out over Barr because Barr was a pushover. Barr was a rhino. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened today. There was a court hearing today. A lot of stuff came out today. It will take us a whole hour to cover everything that came out today. It's just wild. This was his third attempt to get bond. Third. And when they started talking about, I was watching Miss Mandy Reacts. I was watching on her channel. And when they started talking about some of the stuff that he's been able to do from behind bars, is going to blow your mind. It's literally going to blow your mind what he has been able to do from behind bars. Yeah, money talks. But in New York, they ain't having it. The judge denied bond again today. That means that his next step is the appellate court. The judge said that he can't even follow the judge's ruling, previous judge's ruling for 2 days. 2 days. 2. It's friggin' wild. We have to figure out what time we want to do it, because I'm thinking it'll take at least an hour, maybe a couple of hours to go through all the stuff that's out there. I'll look up law and crime audio clips to play for y'all. It's just wild. You know, everybody saw, I'll get into this part. Everybody saw the videotape of him beating the stuffing out of Cassidy Ventura in a hotel lobby. And then he said, no, I didn't do it. That wasn't me. It's on videotape. He tried to buy her off to get her not to testify. That's one of the things that came out in court that was just wild. Just wild. It deserves a whole stream all by itself. Yeah. But when his lawyer says it wasn't him because he never dragged her, and the judge says, but it's on videotape, he dragged her all over the hotel lobby, punching her, kicking her. He said, so the judge said, so don't tell me it wasn't him. Hey, JR, we are now talking a little bit about Diddy. I watched the hearing today. Wild what came out at the hearing. I'm doing a whole stream on it by itself tomorrow. Yeah. When the judge says, I saw the videotape of him dragging her all over the hotel lobby and hitting her and punching her. Hey, JR, Laugh is my friend and she's my moderator. And so he can't say that he didn't do it. He's tried to buy off witnesses from behind bars. He's using other inmates' phone numbers to call witnesses to intimidate them. That's one of the things that come out in court today. That's why I said it deserves a whole stream all by itself, so that we talk about why he was arrested. And it also came out in court via the prosecutor that there are over 100 charges. Over 100. Yep, money is power, Zach is right. Over 100 charges. And one of the things that I remember when they were trying to arrest him, that he tried to flee. He took his private jet. Somebody tipped him off that the arrest was coming, and he left his kids there at the house. That's what ticked me off on that whole situation. He went to the airport and got in his jet and flew to Miami and left his kids there to deal with the raid. Left his kids to deal with the raid. To me, that's disgraceful. You don't leave your kids there to deal with the raid. You just don't do that. To me, that's disgraceful. I would never leave my daughter to deal with a raid if I knew the cops were coming. I would tell her what was going on and tell her, look, get out of here. Which she wouldn't go, but she would know ahead of time what was coming. Yeah, it's crazy behavior. See, the reason why I got interested in it, because it looked like he was fleeing. They found his jet in his car in the Caribbean. All right, Nana. Thanks for stopping by. They found his jet in the Caribbean. They found his car in the Caribbean. Where did they end up picking him up? Miami. That tells me that he was trying to run. Right? Am I right, guys? That if he got off the plane when nobody was noticing in Miami, that he was trying to run. At least that's what it looks like to me. That he was intending to either run or hide or, prevent getting arrested, because many of the islands in the Caribbean don't have reciprocation, meaning if we put, like, say, I got arrested and I flew to one of the Caribbean islands that didn't have reciprocity, it's called, I would never come back to justice, because not having reciprocity means they don't recognize the U.S. justice system. But then they found him in Miami and he got arrested, and yeah, extradition agreements. Right. Extradition agreement. That's the key word. But that topic deserves a stream all by itself, because there's just so much to cover, and the judge was just not having it today. He was not having it at all. He was not having it. It was on, I watched Miss Mandy Reacts while she covered that. Just wild. You know, just because, and there's apparently a list of all the celebrities that he was blackmailing. Which the Department of Justice has the list. And he's on videotape saying, we need to talk to the people. All I need is one juror to be on my side. He said, just one. All I need is one. And it's going to suck when the trial goes on, because New York has no cameras in the court. So we'll have to rely on Law and Crime Network doing a readout of what the judge says, or a synopsis of what was said. There should be cameras in every courtroom. That's my firm belief. All the courtrooms across the country should have a camera in the courtroom so that we know exactly what's going on. And if they need privacy, they can go to the seal like they do in Georgia. And then when the court comes back, it goes right back on the judge. That's how it should be all across the country. Well, they don't need two independent stenographers, Zach. They need one competent stenographer, because the stenographer tapes the recording and she types in shorthand while she's taping, and then she goes back later and creates the transcript from her shorthand notes and then what was said. Is just a very in-depth, detailed job. And women that are stenographers are very, very smart. They have to be very, very smart. They can't be incompetence in disguise, because people's lives are on the line, and you are going by what the stenographer says. Stephen Entright, Sharon Walling, Buster Walling, Shirley Black, Roger Black, Billy Malou. They're murderers and child molesters. They live in El Reno, Oklahoma. Help. What kind of help do you need, Robin? See, each judge in the courtroom has a personal assistant. They have a legal assistant, and they hire their own stenographer. The government doesn't hire it for them. Each judge hires their own. No, they cannot be bought because their job is on the line. See, the transcript that they create has to be perfect. Otherwise, there's well, what I can tell you, Robin, is that Pam Bondy was nominated to be the new AG. She will take office probably in January. It's more than that, Zach. Okay. The transcript has to be perfect. Otherwise, the transcript has to be perfect. Robin, get with Laugh Always. She's my moderator. Laugh, get Robin's info and get a hold of her and see what we can do to help her. Yeah, what it's supposed to be. And because, okay, they're saying, like here's an example, the YSL trial. Because it has taken 2 years that the transcript will take a year to create, and that it will cost each appellate lawyer 6 figures to buy the transcript, because the trial transcript has to be created. There has to be no reversible error. And then the appellate lawyers all have to buy the transcript, and they use the transcript to create the appeals. It's very, very complicated. Very complicated. So we'll plan on doing Diddy tomorrow. Me and Laugh will work on a time because there's just so much to cover. All right. We're going to call it to an end here. Hey, Annette. Want to watch this, but slow, taking too much time. Well, I've covered everything. We're about to the end, Annette. We will be covering Diddy tomorrow. If you want to tune in tomorrow. Well, it's because, Annette, it's because I read each person's comment and then answer their comments. You missed the whole first half hour where I talked about the cases that we're discussing and the topics rather. So we're going to put this horse in the barn, call an end. Yeah, we're casual here. All right. We will see you all tomorrow. And Laugh, I will get a hold of you on X in probably like about an hour. Talk to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.